What?
Welcome.
Oh.
I'm glad you all came. This is going to be fun today. Very informal and interactive. So,
Light this motor off.
you know, I'm not necessarily the expert. I would consider experienced, but please voice or join, you know, as we go through the procedure of starting a motor that's been sitting for a really long time, and or a completely rebuilt motor. What are the startup procedures? So please, you know, pipe up and talk, except Ward.
I never said that when you came over to my house. I don't know if that's very fair, but then again,
I
you
have
know.
a gift for you, Ward.
Yeah, thanks.
The Grumpy Party Pooper.
Wow, gee whiz.
It's jelly
The
beans.
granny, grumpy.
That's for you, buddy.
Here. You probably need that.
Yeah, looks like my dog.
Almost looks like a pig, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I know somebody that collects pigs around here someplace.
Yeah.
Looks like.
You collect pigs, Roger?
Yeah, that's right. You didn't notice at Christmas?
You know?
The house is full of it.
This looks like a hairy pig to me. Put that in your collection.
Well, anyway, so let's assume that you have a motor that's been sitting, or a Mini that's been sitting for over a year, or 2 years, or maybe more, and you want to start the engine, or you've got a completely rebuilt motor and you're ready to start it for the first time. Where do you start? I always start at the back. Start at the very back of the car, and make sure that is your battery topped off, and is it charged? Are the connections all fuzzy and grown over? Has it been disconnected, or do you have a battery cut off? It's really important to have a smart charger. And notice I said smart charger and not trickle charger or battery tender. A battery tender is a bad idea. Those, we've seen battery tenders ruin batteries. Ken, you know a lot about batteries.
I've had okay luck with the right battery tender.
That's right. We use a C-Tech smart charger. These are new. They've come a long way with really smart chargers. A battery tender will destroy a battery. A smart charger.
Why?
Well, they don't talk to the battery. What this charger does is it actually communicates with the battery. It sends a signal and receives a signal. It will only charge when it sees the correct signal. There's a lot of technology in this, and I'm not an expert in this, but I do know that it works.
Does it communicate by post?
Email. Email or text.
Snail mail.
They
By
text each
positive
other.
post, negative post.
CHGME.
Let's put it this way, if you don't have a smart charger these days, you have a damn hard time charging up your battery.
Yeah.
Ward's absolutely right. Use a smart charger. If you have a battery tender, throw it away.
There are various models of the battery tender,
Yeah.
and there are some of them that are actually okay, and some of them, like if you have an Odyssey battery,
Yeah.
there's a certain battery tender that you have to use for that. A
That's
regular
correct.
Mickey Mouse battery tender will not do it.
Modern batteries are changing a lot. They're
Very
so
much.
different compared to the batteries as even 2 years ago.
Yeah, the little cheap battery tenders are not very good.
No, throw them away. All
But
right.
they do make a better model. That will,
Invest, if you're spending any less than $85 on a charger, you're buying a piece of crap. Okay? $85 is the minimum, and then you know you're buying a smart charger. Okay? Anyway, how's the fuel? The gasoline. Now, I've had people say, well, that's got fresh gas in it. I'm like, oh, how old is it? Well, it's 2 years ago.
It's not
2-year-old
fresh
gas is not fresh gas. Okay? 6 months is the rule. Okay? And I got that.
Actually, the rule gets a little bit worse than that. It's actually only 2 months.
Oh, okay, yeah. He
I
held
wouldn't
up
use
3
anything
fingers.
over 3.
Huh?
I wouldn't use anything over 3 months.
Okay.
For sure.
If
You can
it's-
use it, you can use it, but it might not run all that good.
Right. Put it in your lawnmower if you don't love your lawnmower.
If you
No,
can-
don't do that even.
If you can get your lawnmower even
Yeah.
running at that point.
Yeah.
One other situation.
Yeah.
Fuel formulations change by season.
Ah, yes, true.
And if you use a
Winter,
summer fuel in the winter, the volatile components, the lower alkanes like propanes, butanes,
Yeah,
ain't there,
yeah,
which they do stick in the wintertime to make the thing easier to start.
yeah. So, if your gas is questionable, drain it, okay?
Question on that.
Yes.
Yeah. Other than pouring it down the sewer grate in front of your neighbor's house, where do you get rid of that stuff if it's 2 years old?
Along the
Moonshine.
property line.
Drink it, no.
Use it for a weed poisoner.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. It really does work good killing
So,
weeds.
so what happens if the gas is dried out in your tank? What do you do then?
Well, I don't know, what would you do?
What I do?
Yeah, what would you do?
I'd take the tank out and clean it out.
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
And how does it clean?
There's a real easy way of cleaning it out. So make sure that you got all the whatever liquid out of it or whatever. Most of it dries. It's just a lacquer in the bottom of the tank.
Yeah?
Get your old barbecue out and light it up. You can set, you can set it on that barbecue and you can.
It run like hell.
No, it's not gonna blow up on you. But you got the dang thing empty of fuel or whatever, and you got the lid off. You gotta have compression to be able to have something blow up. And then on top of that, you gotta have some gas that would even burn if you threw match into it. So, in reality, you could take and put your tank in your barbecue and rotate it around on the bottom basically and burn the thing out and then empty the ash out of it and give it a good paint job and off you go again.
What we've been doing is sending our gas tanks
Well,
out
you
to
can-
Max Radiator. They've been cleaning them and sealing
Fill
them.
it full of vinegar and let it sit.
They've been doing a pretty good job.
Vinegar for a few
I like
days
how
to
they,
get it.
what they
Yeah,
do
well, the
there.
barbecue does a pretty good job too. So.
Yeah. All right. Before you do
15 to
that,
20 minutes.
before you do that, disconnect the fuel line at the carburetor and blow the crud and the ick and everything back into the tank because that whole line is full of ick again. Okay. So clean out the fuel line before you drain it. All right.
Whatever the hell you do, don't get any on you because it sure stinks.
Oh yeah, old gas is nasty. But even if it's 3 or 6 months old, it doesn't stink and you think it's okay, but you know what? It would probably run, but like Ward said, maybe not so great. So, okay, so we've taken care of the back end. Time to go to the front.